Hey y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors, live from Mississippi. I got the squirrels that me and Roscoe, the squirrels we caught the other day. I'm fixing to fry these things up, and I've got some crappie we killed. So Roscoe, he chews these squirrels up pretty good, and he usually runs that rib section right there. So I'm gonna cook that for him. That's his part. I don't let him have my good part. I won't. Y'all, I really like squirrels. I've had a bunch of people say, "You eat them?" Man, I'm gonna be honest with you. I just about as soon have a good mess of fried squirrels as I had deer meat. All right, now where's that little ball at? I was skinning squirrels back. I don't know. Earlier the year, I made a couple of squirrel skinning videos. Of course, on Facebook, you get all the naysayers. Now I got a grocery sack. I got my flour in here. I use some just self-rising flour, and I put a little of Brother Tony's in there and some salt. Is already in this here grocery sack, and I'm just gonna chunk my meat off in there. And the reason I didn't get my shaker is because I got some cornmeal over there, and I'm gonna do the fish in these cornmeal. And I ain't got a lot of either one. And I'm looking at my meat. We just about to 250, so that is what I am shooting for these squirrels. And then I'll crank it on up and do my fish. So there's method to the madness. So how is everybody tonight? Deer hunting's been terrible this week. I have hunted entirely too much, I reckon. I about done got frustrated with it. I ain't seeing no deer hardly. Which, when I ain't seeing a lot of deer, if a little old scrubby one does come out, I'll drop a hammer on him. So, just about to get ready to drop that in there. It is almost 250. And we fixing to cook in lard over here. Let me turn that right there where you can see everything going on. If you come out here, you better have shoes on and a long sleeve. He's standing there grinning through that door. That's y'all's little old hero about yay high. I'm sure he'll be out here terrorizing us here shortly. All right. So I'm thinking about just dumping. I got this cornmeal right here. I done mixed it up. I'm gonna put me a little bit more Tony's in here. A little bit more Tony's in there. And I done put some salt. So I think I'm gonna just dump it in this bucket. I gotta make sure I strain the juice. I had them in that refrigerator. I didn't catch much of nothing there. We'll just do it like so. I need to get me a dresser drawer. My daddy, he had a drawer out of a cabinet he used to meal fish in. They picked at him a little bit too much. Y'all don't know how them old timers used to do stuff. My grandma, we'd go to my grandma's when I was a little feller, and her flour, she literally kept it in a drawer. You open and shut there in the cabinet. She'd pull that drawer out and dip her flour out. That's where she dumped it. It was always there. I'd never seen nobody else in my entire life do that, but she did it. I don't figure that meal's gonna stay on them fish right there good. It just don't look like it's happening. I should have wet them a little better. They've been in the refrigerator. But we fixing to get our squirrels in there. Yeah. Let me turn down. Right there. We fixing to go to locking them off in there. And we probably gonna put every one of them in there. We are at 250 with this lard. And I'm gonna get them in there and put the lid on them. That is how you keep them tender. And I imagine after today, I'm going to have to throw this here old lard away. Probably going to pour it out tonight somewhere. That must be it. I don't feel nothing else in there. I may save that flour. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. That's the only thing. No, that's just that. I'll make sure there wasn't no squirrel leg in there. All right, let's put the lid on it. Put the lid on it. Right like that. All right. I ain't got no coffee made nowhere. If I had me some water out here, running water, I'd fill that pot up. I'd just make some right here on that. I may have to go do that. May make me some absolute true cowboy coffee. In other words, don't even use a percolator. Just pour it in there and boil it and drink grain and all. What y'all think? Believe I will. Gotta have some coffee. Yeah. Take that out and set that over here somewhere. Let me go fill this up and get me a cup. I'll be back directly while them's are cooking. Oh, you can see that steam coming out. Y'all keep an eye on that now. Don't burn them while I'm gone. Y'all hear me? I'll be right back. Don't run off. Somebody will join in because ain't nobody there. Oh, found me a cup. I got an insulated cup. I thought it might help. I got some coffee out here I hadn't tried that somebody sent. Harry David coffee breakfast blend. I don't know. We'll see. There. We got, let's see, that's 1, 2. Oh, that's 2.5. No, anyway. All right. 3.5, 4 about what we shot for. We probably ain't nowhere close, but we're going to call it good. It'll be good and strong. Here, now, you get back like that. All right. Put it over here over this fire. Find me a torch, and we'll light it as well. All right, back down, simmer down, simmer down. All we got to do is get that and bring it to a boil and then turn it off, and we'll be done with that. You don't have to sit there and let it percolate all night to get it cooked. You know what I mean? That's why I done it that way. It's faster. We got to have this over here. I better get my glove on. I'm going to need it if I grab that pot lid right yonder. Tell you what else I need to do. I need to get y'all pulled up on a chat where I can see how ugly y'all talking about me tonight. Oh, I'm just having fun with you. Witchy. Let me see here. I'll pass this time. They want me to buy that YouTube TV, and they might proud of it, like $70-something a month. I can't see where it's worth it. Oh, I could be wrong. Hey, there everybody is. Crawfish coming soon. Hey, I'm about ready for some crawfish. I never did do a crawfish cooking last year. Let me bit Jonah back, put up. Well, I misput old Jonah. I need to button that shirt down one more. I reckon it's fine like it is. Let me knock some of this stuff off out of the way here so I can lay this down. What in the world? Some kind of commercials are bubbling and are going on. I don't know. We cooking some squirrels, and I got some crappie right here. Well, there's a couple of brim in there and whatnot. So we gonna cook it and eat it. And I'm gonna just put that glove on. The winds are blowing and blowing the fire around here too. Pretty good. I tell you what else I gotta do. I gotta get something to put this stuff on when it gets done. Let me go get a plate. I believe him about done. Want to know the truth. They floating. I bet that got too hot. What do you want to reckon? If it gets too hot, it'll cook too fast. I know all the flour will come off. I figured it would. If you don't soak it in milk, that batter will come off of it. And we just had a little bit of milk, so I didn't. God. 250, I want it on 275 or so to do the fish. You don't ever put fish in there when it ain't up to snuff over here. This wind blowing that thing will make a huge difference on the temperature. I can't tell what the fire's doing. I tell you what though, being I am the cook, I got to sample him to see what I got. If it ain't tough. Look at here, y'all. I was afraid it's gonna be tough watching him. That ain't tough at all. I knew it shouldn't be, but I was scared because I had to run off and I wasn't just sitting there watching it. My temperature ain't coming up though. I'm letting the temperature rise for these fish. Oh, that's just right. People talking about how tough them squirrels are. It's because they turn that grease up too high and throw them in there. It's exactly what it is. So, I know one of them was a young squirrel, but one of them was a pretty good sized squirrel. But I used to do a whole lot more squirrel hunting than I do deer hunting. Before I used to film a lot. I'd get in that swamp and I would walk with a 17 HMR and I was squirrel hunting. And I'd get a lot of deer meat that way. I didn't have to deer hunt hard, but I liked to deer hunt. And I liked to deer hunt right. I told him today, I was buying feed. And I told him, I said, you know, a lot of this feed really ain't about killing deer. I really enjoy that camera going off on that phone and me pull it up and look at them pictures just to see what's there. I mean, I get a lot of enjoyment out of that. All right. We ain't said the blessing, so we ain't going to eat a whole bunch of that right now. Uncle Sasquatch said he likes blue plate and dukes. I have never had Bama, I don't think. I have had Dukes. I've had, my mama raised me on Hellman's mayonnaise. I didn't get to eating Dukes till I moved out, and I'm more of a, Blue Plate, and I'm more eating Blue Plate than I do Dukes, but I like either one of them. Uh, and I can eat Hellman's if I got to, but don't want to. Just don't break out that Miracle Whip. But I'll be honest with y'all, I'm not one of these people that's like, oh, that ain't my brand, I can't eat it. A lot of people's like that, like Hunt's ketchup or Heinz ketchup, or you give me some ketchup and sop something in where I can grease it up where it'll slide down a little better and ain't so dry, I'm happy. What's my tail? We right about there. All right, let's go in with these few pieces of fish. We ain't gonna have a lot to cook tonight. Crappie fillets. I mean, one of them crappie y'all was a fine of. And then we got a couple of those snacker brim. And then we're gonna eat like a king here in a minute. All right, that's all of that. I'm thinking about saving my meal. We'll have to see if I can. Roscoe doesn't come out here to join me. All of this was clean, y'all. I know y'all don't save stuff. I do. Just for what I'm doing out here, I don't take it in the house and be cooking all kind of whatever. But if I'm gonna meal fish again, I mean, but I'll keep it in the refrigerator where there can't no bacteria grow or nothing like that. I know somebody will frown on that and say, oh, you can't do that, but I've been doing it for a long, long time and they ain't killed me yet. So probably why my immune system is really, really good. Y'all want to see what Roscoe's doing? He's drinking right out of that Yeti cooler. I had deer meat in that cooler till the other night, and we processed all the deer meat, and it still has some blood. So when it started raining, I drug it up under the eave of the house and opened the lid and let it fill up, and then I dumped it out. Of course, it rained and filled it up again. Now he's found him a Yeti water bucket's what he's got right there. That's an expensive water bucket. But hey, that's an expensive dog. You all right? How's the fire looking over here? Don't let the fire go out, Roscoe. Don't let the fire go out. We better chunk another stick of wood on it. We'll put a big stick. We're going to be out in here a little bit. Now, burn, baby, burn. Yeah, that grease is getting a little dark for my taste. Big time to change it. Coffee is about ready to boil, and not quite. Roscoe, I did cook you here's one of your pieces. Come here. They want to see you get it. They want to know I'm feeding you good. He worked for that squirrel. Somebody said, oh, you didn't give him the squirrel when I was cleaning him. No, we'll cook it for him. We don't give it to him raw. Oh, you see that boil over like that right quick? Yeah. All right, it's boiling. We can turn that way down. I mean, it boiled over right straight. Woo-wee. We'll have to put some cold water on that. Uh-oh, my battery's already... Talk right now. All right. Hey, y'all, is everything inverted? Or we get it straightened out? I tried to outsmart them. So anyway, welcome all of you. Uncle Sasquatch, I see you there, and Mike Reed, good to have you tonight. I hadn't been able to go through and just see who all other celebrities is on here. I see all of my favorite people, though. Hey, so glad y'all took out of your time to join us tonight. Probably ain't no ball games worth watching on tonight. So. All right, I'm fixing to cut the fire off there. I think that is done. Get this over here. All these squirrels is going to be something other fine a while. Yeah. Yeah. Wow. All right. Now let me get some water. Well, I did put water in here. I thought I did. I couldn't find my water. I was fixing to say I didn't put none in that refrigerator, but I knew good and well I did. So what I'm going to do is shock this. You just pour a little dab in there. Why does that lid keep coming on? And then I'll drink the rest of it right now while that's cooling. We're going to sit over here and eat. Y'all, is the wind noise terrible out here? I could go get that microphone if it's terrible. I just know the wind is a-blowing. Carly Lawrence, we are in Neshoba County, Mississippi, which is not far out of Philadelphia. My name is Justin Peden. Nice to meet all of you. New folks, thank y'all for joining. All right, y'all come over here with me. We're going to sit over here by the fire, and we're going to eat like kings do. Come on down, camera. All right. Yeah. Yeah, there we go. God. It has rained, y'all, the last few days. I mean, it has rained. We're going to have to stoke that fire up. So I seen Toby saying they had a tornado. I heard several people talking about some tornadoes recently. So it is not backwards running. I tell y'all how I outsmarted it. If it's fixed and I ain't backwards, I tell you what I did to remedy it. I'll tell you. So hang on. Let's say the blessing first. First things first. Thank you, Lord, for the woods and the creek. Thank you, Lord, for the food we eat. Thank you, Lord, for the fish that swim. Thank you, Lord, for all of them. Thank you, Lord, for the plants that grow. Thank you, Lord, for the white-tailed doe. Thank you, Lord, for the birds that sing. Thank you, Lord, for everything. Amen. All right. And for those of you that are new, that is the Woodsman's Prayer. We do have that on a cutting board. Joey can get it for you at M4 Laser Works. Oh, them squirrels are fine. Gosh, though, we did good. Just hold up. I'll fix you up. But patience is the key, son. Oh, yeah. Y'all, you can't overcook them squirrels. I mean, I preach that a lot, but it's imperative. Everybody ain't gonna like squirrels. That's just how some things are, but don't let it be because they wouldn't cook good. I'll say that. Because they are fine eating. All right, here. That's yours. Let's try one of these crappie fillets. See how that tastes. Mm. I do say it's better cooked in hog lard. But now, let me be fair with y'all. A fella what ain't eating nothing but some snack cakes all day thinks everything's good too now. You run out there and come back in a quick fashion in a hurry. You like crappie filet bones? Don't give him to your dog. He can't eat them. If you're going to give a dog crappie bones, he's got to be a wonder dog like Roscoe. Ain't that right, Uncle Sasquatch? Hmm. Man, y'all, I wish y'all had a bite. I hate that y'all have to sit here every night on Fridays or Saturdays and just watch me eat like this. I went squirrel hunting this week, and I've saved these squirrels and them fish just for this occasion because I said I wanted to eat them out here on the back porch. And that squirrel had one more hair that didn't get pulled off, and it's on there good. There, you can have that part, Roscoe. There. Jeffrey Bowman, that's about what we do. Put it in the refrigerator, and I don't keep it indefinitely, but I will keep it for a while. And all I'll use it for is to meal fish. I won't use it to make cornbread or something like that. I mean, that's just kind of out of the question. But what I was responding to is he said that his grandmother would freeze her fish meal and reuse it. Let's eat one of these right here with these bones on it. Oh, that tail's good. That's them snackers. Now, when we have our, you out there, when we have our cooking and fishing all at Tom Bigby, some of y'all gonna have to be in charge of catching some brim so we can eat the tails. We might have some catfish tails, you never know. If they'll bite. But if they don't, we're gonna go up there to Superior Catfish and get a box, and they won't have no tail. Well, you can probably buy tails up there. I think, in fact, you can. You can tell them what size catfish you like. Yeah. I don't like to throw these bones on that carpet. I'm afraid I'd get them in my foot. Mike, it has been raining cats and puppies on y'all. Son, it rained all day up here yesterday. And I worked out there, and I was going to film some of my working yesterday. And they wasn't no hope of it. It rained, and the internet didn't work good when it's raining. And you couldn't hear yourself think down there. So I didn't try to film that. And I had 2 knives I needed to get finished. And I got them done today. I slipped on back off to the woods. And y'all, I hadn't filmed no lot of videos these last weeks or so. I thought I was gonna film some deer hunting, but there ain't been nothing to film but me walking in and back out of the woods. I didn't figure y'all wanted to see no whole lot of that. They ain't but so many times you can say we go into our stand and I mean, well, we didn't see nothing. That was what I filmed this week. Vicky, he said, where's Brody? Brody's in yonder, somewhere in the house. He spent the night off somewheres last night, so I hadn't seen him till I come in a while ago. And I hunted till it was at 6:30 when I got home. So I come out here, built the fire, got my stuff together, started cooking. I ain't even had time to talk to him. I ain't joking. So, gonna have to quit all this hunting, I think. About to lose the farm and everything hunting. You know, I ain't never fished as hard as I hunt. If I'd fish every day like I hunt, there ain't no telling how many fish we'd catch. But we'll fish one time a week, but they ain't biting. We'll wait on 2 or 3 more days. I can go hunt today, not see nothing, get up before daylight, and go back tomorrow. It's crazy, ain't it? What happened? Did we lock up? This over here. I don't know what's going on with my iPad. I ain't getting no new, my iPad is froze, y'all. I ain't getting nothing on it. I knew it was looking all kind of wonky. This thing here, let me do some work on it. Oh, I don't know how to close everything out. That I used to could get that pulled up. You got to go up and over. Oh, Lord. They ain't gonna let me do it. I am absolutely not getting nothing on that thing, y'all. Roscoe, you tap iPad. It absolutely ain't doing nothing. I wish I could close it out. You know how you swipe up and over? Is this, how you fix this thing, Michelle? It's locked up, ain't doing nothing. May not know. How did you make it do that?
Slid it up.
Well, I couldn't make it come up. I was doing it wrong.
You hit Eurohook to Starlink extension.
All right, locked on to something else. Oh, we cooking with Crisco now. Or hog lard or something. Thank you. Now we're getting advertisements again. I guess they got to make up for what I didn't see while it wasn't working. Ha! Now we can see what y'all say. I was way behind. Yeah, Stephanie, she's been in there in the house. Getting a little chilly out here, finally. I like it. Fire, food, something to drink. Got coffee over there ready. I'm happy with it, but they like that warm weather. Jerome, me and Roscoe, neither one knew how to fix a computer. What's the best way to get hair off of squirrel meat? Don't take this the wrong way, but the best way is not to get it on there to begin with. And that's the truth, because it's a devil to get off. Once it's on there, son, it is on there. And that is precisely why I quit splitting the back and pulling both ways. And every time I film a video of the way I skin squirrels, everybody wants to tell me that that's a better way to split the back, and it is not. I'll argue with anybody on that, because I was taught from birth to split the back and pull, and I got hair every time all over everywhere. Because when you cut all the way across the back, you cutting straight across a bunch of hair. When I cut under the tail, I'm not cutting through a bunch of long hair, so I don't get hair everywhere. I don't know what people's talking about getting hair everywhere that way. That is precisely why I started skinning them by holding the tail. One quick jerk, and I got all the hair off of it. A lot of people suggest dipping them in water before you start cleaning them. But as far as once it's on there, how to get it off, you might got to scrape it off or something. I seen one old boy doing like you do ducks. You know, he got his fish cooker going and held it over there and singed them off. I see Brody in there struggling to put shoes and whatnot on. I guess he's coming. He may be gonna come see you. I don't know. He's looking for a jacket. Here, Roscoe, here's one of your... I didn't know Puppy was out there. Puppy can't have bones. Let Puppy in the house. Tell Mama to call Puppy in. He can't have bones. Here he comes. Let him in.
Get in here, little brat.
Here, Puppy. Come on. Come eat.
What is that?
There's one piece of crappie left. There's fish and squirrels. There ain't no bones in that. Is it good?
Mm-hmm.
I figured it would be. I can't see my chat. Jeff, we talking about. He said the dad's taught us to split the back and taught us wrong. The game and fish here, when we done our hunter's education, the book tells you to split the back. What you want, more fish or squirrel? Look, get this in here and split this, and that's like a chicken leg, and you can eat it off the bone right there. There's a bone in the middle, so. Rice go.
Brother, it's hard as a rock.
Hard as a rock.
Yeah.
No. Man, this meat's tender.
Well.
But we was having a squirrel cooking here on our creek. We used to cook pretty regular. I had an older man. He said, come here, son, let me show you how to skin them squirrels. He showed me the way I do it now, and I ain't never looked back. It don't pay to be hard-headed and refuse to learn something because you do it this way and somebody does the other way and you just want to tell everybody your way's the best.
I wanna show y'all something.
What you gonna show us?
I got a
They
Jurassic.
can't see you. You got to move over in front of the camera.
I got a Jurassic World shirt on.
Jurassic World shirt.
Yeah.
You very. Is that really tough? You want a different piece? Cause the rest of this ain't tough. He lost a tooth this week, and the tooth fairy had to come visit him. He'll go in there and give that dog that bone. We'll be back in the veterinarian's office next week. I have sat here and eaten about this whole plate of stuff, y'all. Why didn't y'all let me do that? I mean, I ain't kidding. You can tell when an old boy ain't eat all day. He'll eat burnt fish and tell you it's good. It wasn't burnt. Suzanne, we got some foreigners that has moved into this part of the country. And they've been squirrel hunting. I've seen videos of them. They got videos on YouTube of them. Missouri and Arkansas especially. Squirrel hunting. They'll build a fire. They don't even gut the squirrels. They just throw them in the fire. They don't clean nothing. Just burn the mess out of them and go to eating them. I ain't never seen a beat in my life. I guess that's how you're raised to do it, though. You don't know no different. Somebody's muffler fell off their truck. But they like it like that, I can guarantee you. Or they wouldn't keep mashing on it like that. They probably think all of us is sitting up here at the house when they ride by going, oh, look how cool they are. I was young one time too. I'm finna have to quit. About to get full. Alright, I'm done. Alright, I got me some coffee now. What we gonna chit chat about tonight, y'all? Jeff, no sir, the one video I saw, they didn't gut them at all. They just, I don't want to sound vulgar, but they took a stick and sharpened it off and entered it into the nether regions of this squirrel and pushed it on up and just laid him in the fire. I mean, just laid it right there in the ashes and everything. They didn't hold it up over the fire. They laid it right down in the coals. Over there on the tables where the fish are. Is that what you was after? I mean, the squirrels. Eat all of it. All the rest of that's all yours. Don't let that puppy get them bones. All right. All right now, Roscoe. Roscoe. He's about to knock it out of my hand. Reva Stockard said, I learned your way from someone on YouTube. It's a lot better for me. The skinning the squirrels, it's a lot better for me too, the way I learned it. Because I have skinned a lot of squirrels split in the back. And if somebody wants to do it that way and prefers it, by all means do it that way.
You got bones out there?
I don't know. I think Roscoe eat most of them, but there could be some out there. I hadn't got up one out there to look.
Let me tell you what happened to him today.
What?
I put him in the cage.
He said, you said cage, and yeah, there's bones out there.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I mean, he wouldn't have took off out there wide open. Yeah, look. Oh, well. I couldn't believe after I told her, yeah, she set him down anyway.
I thought Roscoe had ate him.
Shoot. Anyway, I don't remember what. Anyway, I was saying that I've skinned a bunch of them that way. And once I learned to do them this other way, it's by far better. So me having done it both ways, I mean, I know what worked so much better for me. What you got, pup? Got you a squirrel leg. He'll sure enough be a squirrel dog now. Deaver, I did not see the deer anymore. But now, when I left, I was on my way home, and my phone went off, and I looked there, and he was under my feeder. He probably stood there and watched me get down and leave. But he ain't no good deer. Probably a good thing that I went on and left and left him there. He's not much, but he really probably ain't as good as the other one I shot. But I have not seen good deer. I've got 2 good deer the whole year on camera. And I've only seen them a few times. The one of them I had been seeing regularly, it disappeared about 2 weeks ago. And I think it's on the other end of the club and could be no telling where by now. But they rambling. So the one that I've seen recently is a deer I had never seen before, just showed up. And he showed up one night and was in and out that one night, and then I've not seen him anymore. So I don't know where he went, where he come from, and how long he'll be there. What are you doing with that? She's trying to lure that dog back into her arms. I may have to get the camera around over where y'all can watch. This is quite entertaining. Come here, pup. Roscoe didn't near about eat all them bones. Jeff Biscuit is doing good. Now, after he eats this mess of bones, he may not be doing good, but what happened, his intestines got infected some way. Michelle says it's from me throwing them beaver feet down out there and him and toting them around, rotting and chewing on them. And it could be. But anyway, he got infected in his intestines, and they swelled up and swelled shut, really. And he was backed up and wouldn't, and that's why he kept vomiting, so.
Anyway, he had to have surgery. Lord, Daddy must have just taken his phone.
Romy 65 ain't old. It was when I was a young fella, but now I'm be 45 this summer, and 65 ain't old. You still young. I just tell you, I'm getting closer and closer to it. It ain't near about old as I thought it was one time. Ain't nearly about as old. That fire's just kind of pitiful, ain't it, y'all? May have to go get another small dry log and put in there in the middle. Let's see. Let one more. My firewood pile, y'all, is getting low. I ain't gonna lie about that now. We'll see how that transpires. See if that's any more gooder. No gooder. I like it to be roaring while I'm out here sitting. I like to smell that wood burns, and my favorite part. I'm trying to eat that drink that whole bottle of water for the fact that them salty fish, I need that water. Let that bottle blow up. It'll go in a minute. No, that ain't. That one shriveled up. All right. David Rush said 111 years ago when I was 10. Jeff said I'm 51, but I act like I'm 20. I tell you, them years go by really, really fast. And I don't know if it's age that makes them seem like they're going by faster, or if time really is just going by faster. Brenda Joe, good night. Hope you get a good night's sleep. Randy Mitchell, I have not looked to see how much rain we got. I need to put me a manual rain gauge right out here somewhere so that I can keep up with it. That thing's in yonder, and I very seldom look at it and check it. Coach, that's what I said. And talking about the Bible, he's saying, lest time be shortened, but it shall be, for the very elect's sake would not be saved. Or something like that. I can't quote it word for word. But I always thought, well, he'd shorten time. In other words, he'd just come back sooner. And, we had just cut off the end, instead of coming 100 years later, he'll come 40 years later or something like that. But I think time is going by faster, is what it is. I think he just sped the whole thing up, because God could do that and every clock would go by faster. We'd be none the wiser. A second used to be 1, 2, Now it's 1, 2, 3. Them seconds click along pretty good now. So anyway, either way it is, it seems to go by pretty quick. And I tell you what I go by. I know what I used to could get done in a day. And I ain't talking about me slacking. I'm talking about me wide open all day. I can't near about get all of it done no more. Gonna be in the 30s tomorrow. I think we supposed to get down pretty low here. I don't know, but we got church, so it'll be Monday before I go back to the woods. At least Monday. And I don't know what I'm going to do. That stand I hunted, I've got deer at it, but I have not seen deer moving in a day. And I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if it's because we had a couple of guys. We had some people in the club that was off work. They work off and they was home. And they had a whole month off to hunt. And they hunted every day, day and night. And was in and out all over everywhere. And I think that made them deer nocturnal. They just got used to people in and out constantly, and they just quit moving. Cause them people didn't kill no whole lot. I think they killed maybe one or two, couple of does and a little old scrubby buck, and about like what I killed probably. And so I don't know. We hadn't had a good deer hunting year, but when this deer season is over, I'm gonna probably go pull feeders out at the end of February. I'm going to run my feeders up till February to feed coons and the turkeys and whatever else. And then before turkey season starts, I'm going to go pull all of my feeders out. And then I'll slowly start pulling stands home and all that, get all of my stuff out. Because once turkey season's over, I may attempt to turkey hunt some this year. But after that, we done with that club. I talked to the guy that's the president, and most of them's all getting out of it. They not gonna pay the lease on it no more, and the club's pretty well done. So next year I will be hunting somewhere else, and hopefully we get enough water I can hunt this public land a lot more next year than I have. Which I'm gonna check the water sometime this week. If the water's up, we may put the canoe in and spend some time down here in the swamp. I'd just soon hunt down there as I had over on the club, really. Now, once muzzleloader season hits, we're going to start popping does. I'm going to thin the does. I've got 3 more does that I can get, so I'm going to probably get them off the club over there. And try to get the other 2 bucks if I can. I may not can. So we'll just have to see. I'm not going to shoot a spike or something like that. I just ain't. Even if I ain't going to have the club next year, I'm not going to do that. But I will shoot, what's legal. But we really don't have a lot of legal deer, I don't think. Anyway, that is that. Jason, we are probably going to do a church service there at the campground on a tailgate. I thought about this, and I decided that would probably be the right thing to do, is to just plan it sometime, I don't know, 8, 9, whatever, when everybody feels like it, 10 o'clock, whatever, that we'll pull the tailgate out and do a church service. And I would stream it and do a live. But I can tell you already, there's not enough service at the campground to stream a live just in time there. Now, my brother has a Starlink Mini. We may can hook to his and do that. I don't know. We will see. So, being we going to be up there may not be a just in time that particular Sunday. We'll just have to see. But yeah, I do plan to sit on the tailgate and we'll have church up there. Fully intend to do that. Michael Edwards said, do you do much hog hunting? I don't, because we don't have a lot of them. Now, when we get them coming into an area, yeah, I'll go for them. You can hunt hogs year round. And if that water gets right, February is the month to really go after hogs here. We used to really hunt them a lot. We had dogs we hunted them with. Hadn't done that. I may do some hog hunting, especially if we don't have a good deer season. I could get in that swamp and possibly find some pigs and do a serious. I'd love to bow hunt them, really and truly, just to see if we could shoot some. Yeah, Pup's getting them bones. Puppy, Biscuit, come here. Biscuit. I tell you what, he refuses to mind. Roscoe, you call him, he'd come to you. Pup ain't coming. Steve said, what have you got planned for the garden this year? Well, I will tell you this. We did not garden much last year. I just got frustrated with it. This whole year we hadn't done good with anything, really and truly. Now I did all right fishing and catfishing. We had pretty good fishing. But I took off the gardening to fish, and we never did really slay the crappie like I wanted to. Caught some good catfish at times. But the grinnell never did. We never did really hammer the grinnell like I had intended. I was going to do a lot of fishing, and it just, I don't know, life got busy, but the garden slacked last year. So this year, I am planning on redoing some of my gardening. Nothing done well last year. So I may rearrange and plant in some different areas. And the reason last year was terrible for us is we had an excessive amount of rain all through the gardening season. And you'd think, well, you know, plenty of water is a good thing, but when it can't dry them roots out, it ain't a good thing. So I'm gonna plant like I always do, squash and cucumbers and zucchinis, tomatoes, peas, corn. I don't know what all. So we'll just have to see how it goes. Jeff, we did hunt them with pit bulls. I raised pit bulls for a while. Jerome, you was whistling at him and he wouldn't come. Here, boy. Come here. Come here. Look, he comes that. Come here, boy. Biscuit, come here. Biscuit. Well, he ain't coming back to it. He thought I had food over him was what it was. Deaver wanting to know who all has got camping spots booked for Pickinsville April the 16th through the 19th. That is a Thursday through a Sunday. We will have to be out of there by dinner Sunday. So just in time, we're going to have to get our stuff packed up, do it fast probably while everybody's closing up shop. But I will be there, most definitely. Jason, there is grinnell up there, but I've never caught one up there. Don't know how that's going to happen. There is some big gar in there. I've not got one in the boat, but I know they're there. I will be on site 144. I see somebody's gunner's got 141. Jeff said he's booked. I'm assuming Deaver is booked. Larry Alexander's got 145. Deaver's on 147. Jason McKenzie's got 143. We are going to have that place locked down that weekend. I'm telling y'all, I'm looking forward to this. I wish I'd have thought about doing this last year when we were going up there some. I'm probably going to go before this at some place. Brandon Sauger is on 146. We got enough of the area locked down over there that we can do like we want to over there in that one section. I can tell you that. So, you know, if you wind up with your camper way off somewhere, it won't be no problem for you to come over there and pop your chairs up and just pick you out some real estate and And most of these is up on this bayou that you can bank fish a good bit there. They catch some fish there on the bank a good bit. We hadn't never caught a lot of big ones right there, but now there's some places on down that you can fish. I know with a Mississippi license, and I don't know how the Alabama license work, how they recognize all of that. But it's gonna be a lot of fun, and we'll probably do it again if this goes well and is a success. We may plan another one in the future. Cause I enjoy it. I would really like to plan one in a different state somewhere off that we could, but you got to plan it far enough ahead that everybody can lock down there, one area where we can all be together. I don't know what other areas is good. Suzanne, I'd love to see you be able to come up here from Australia and visit with us. I'll be honest with you, I'd love to go to Australia. I just think Australia would be a cool place to visit. I'd bring a kayak, because we're going to be in a bayou. If you look at the map, the campground, the river runs, and there's a bayou, and straight across the river, there's an old river run. It makes a loop back there that don't have a lot of current in it. So there's a lot of fishing you can do with a kayak. Don't get me wrong, but I will say this. There's barges coming up and down this river and yachts. The yachts are way more dangerous than the barges. Fortunate, it ain't but about a half a mile to a mile down there. There's a lock. So usually most everything's moving pretty slow when it comes through there. I have seen some yachts come through doing 40 miles an hour up that river, and they be throwing a weight that's taller than that fire pit right there, and they will turn you bottom upwards. So the yachts is what you got to watch. But now we normally don't see a lot of yachts, and being there is a campground right there, I don't know why I'm getting hiccups. Most of those yachts are going slow. Most of them would just be idling along, so it really ain't a problem. The barges are going to be doing all they can do, but that's still relatively slow. So it's not that dangerous, but do watch. We don't want nobody up there getting hurt, which we know none of y'all wants to get hurt. But anyway, that bayou that comes up's dead, and there's backwater, and there's plenty of fishing back out up in it. Probably crappie fishing, brim fishing, whatever you want to do. This place is not known for brim. It is known for catfish and known for crappie. I have not crappie fished it enough to learn it, to know where to catch crappie. Because some of it is, the deepest holes in this river is about 40 foot deep. Average about 20 foot deep, but now a lot of that river ain't but 10 foot deep. So, well, it's probably deeper than 10. It's probably average around 20. There's some 30 foot holes, some 40 foot holes. So, the crappie should be getting shallow by then, but now it has a lot to do with the currents. Last year we struggled with the crappie up there for the simple reason it was raining excessively all that time, all through the spring, and they were having to keep the locks wide open because of the water that was up in Pickwick and all that there, because Tom Bigby runs out of Pickwick Lake, runs through Bay Springs Lake, and there's several different lakes on that river up and down through there. So they was having to pull water a lot. And it was, when there's a lot of current going through there, them fish get lockjaw. We camped out up there in, I don't know if it was March or April we camped. And we didn't catch I caught one crappie in there that whole 3 or 4 days. And I fished for them pretty hard. But nobody was catching them. So I didn't feel like, hey, I was just an idiot that couldn't catch crappie. They just, for the conditions while I was there, wasn't good for them. I'm going to get me some more coffee. I'll be honest with y'all, that cowboy coffee just pouring the grounds in the water is really about the best thing, I think. I'm probably done with the percolator. That percolator is too slow. Alicia, she had a video yesterday, y'all. She put on her YouTube channel, A Heart of Pine Homestead, of this worm. It had to be about this long, and it was curled all up, and it was just sitting there wiggling around because it was raining all day. Of course, it's warm weather, and she was wondering, was it a snake or a worm? Well, I couldn't tell how close it was. Jason McKenzie, you can purchase a license on, or at least I can, on the Mississippi Game and Fish, it's the Mississippi Department of Wildlife, Fisheries and Parks, and it's letters, MDWFP Hunt Fish app, and you can buy everything there. I don't know if you got to be a resident, or I'm assuming you can buy non-resident there. So it's MSDWFP Hunt Fish app. Look that up, and you can buy them on it, I think. But anyway, if anybody looks at Alicia's video and knows what kind of critter that was she videoed, let us know. Because I'm going to be honest with you, I don't know. It looked like a long earthworm, but it was long. So it wasn't no earthworm I ever saw, and it was just laying there wiggling on the sidewalk. I did watch that. I was like, I don't know. I didn't have no answer. I ain't gonna lie about it. Invasive tiger worm? I've never heard of such, Coach. But very possible. I don't know. Eric, what is tail race fishing? I don't know. Jeff, you will have phone service, but it will be limited. You're not going to have full service. It's up there you off in the middle of where the river runs through a bunch of bean fields up through there in the flat part of Mississippi. It ain't really the delta, but it is a flat area on the hillside. It's called the Tombigbee River Valley. Suzanne, I ain't never heard of a legless lizard. I figured that'd just be a snake. Jeff, we most definitely gonna have a fish fry one night, even if we have to go buy fish. But now I'm gonna take a bunch of jugs, and we should be able to catch some, at least smaller catfish on jugs. I'm gonna run limb lines. I would take my trot lines up there and run them, but it takes a lot of bait to run trot lines, and I don't have the energy for it. It's easier to take a bait tank, and I'm probably gonna build me a better bait tank this year. The bilge pump is not conducive. It'll heat that water up very, very, very hot. So I'm gonna come up with some kind of a contraption, and I'm gonna build me a better bait tank this year. I got my eye on a cooler that's huge that I think I'm gonna use. It's a junked out cooler. I don't know what kind of shape it's in. I gotta look at it. I found it in the woods, and I hadn't picked it up yet. So I'm gonna check it out and see. But I may have to buy a big cooler. But I'm gonna get a pool pump that's for like a swimming pool that'll circulate the water. It's got a filter in it, and that's what I'm gonna use to run this. I'm gonna see how that works. But I'm gonna see if I ain't got a different boat by then. John, having your first baby Monday morning. Well, man, congratulations. We will definitely say a prayer for you. That is awesome, man. Proud of y'all. Happy for you. So y'all do say a prayer for them. So I'm assuming you got a scheduled C-section, obviously. That is what we done. Jerome says continue to pray for him. We will do that. We'll pray for you, bud. Deaver said we got to talk through strings and cans. Oh, we're going to talk around a campfire is what we're going to do. I may try to get plenty of firewood up there. I'm going to be pulling a camper, pulling a boat. We're going to have a load. We're going to look like the Beverly Hillbillies when we show up. But depending on what haul and load and do, we don't know. I may have to make 2 trips. So y'all, we always get into some Jerry Clower, so before it gets too late, I went to the feed mill today. And Mike Reeves, you have missed all of this. We've got dates and we've been sitting here discussing. We're going to all be at Pickinsville at the campground April the 16th through the 19th. I'm on site 144, and these folks is booked up every site around there close. You need to get you a camper spot up there, and if you sleep in the back of your truck, we're going to be there April the 16th, which is a Thursday, through the 19th on a Sunday. Now, obviously, you pastor the church, you're going to have to leave Saturday. But, rent your spot anyway and come on up there. You can come hook to your stuff after church and pull it out. But anyway, we was at the feed mill today, and they was talking about buzzards, and I got to laughing. They was talking about somebody cooking some buzzard eggs. Old Asley, she had a goose and had it sitting on some eggs. Old Marcel, he was out hauling pulpwood, and they cut a tree down and it had a buzzard nest in there. Well, when it fell, it didn't break all the eggs. There's 2 or 3 of them buzzard eggs in there that didn't break. So he took them eggs home and slid them under there with that goose. He didn't say a thing about it. And asked Asley about 4 or 5 days later. He said, well, did the goose take to them goose eggs? And she said, no. Said she never would sit on them eggs, them goose eggs, so I cooked them for your breakfast yesterday morning. Oh, Lord. I bet he didn't bring home no more goose eggs, no buzzard eggs, tell her there's goose eggs. Gunner is tent camping. Jason and Larry are tent camping. I tell y'all now, in that area, there is some trees. I wouldn't omit having a hammock with me, and the reason is that hammock is a lot more comfortable than the. And here's the secret. Y'all seen how I backed my truck up there and hooked one end of the hammock to my truck and then the other end of the tree? That way you can hammock camp with just one tree. It's just an option to think about. Because I'm fixing to go back to beaver trapping a good bit. And as it warms up and gets weather conducive for it, when we start this beaver trapping, I'm going to camp in my hammock a good bit while we're doing these beaver jobs. Larry, them 12-volt coolers is good long as you're riding, but now if you sit somewhere for a couple of days with it hooked to your battery with a vehicle off, it'll drain your battery. Oh, tail race is a fast flowing water below a dam. I hadn't done a lot of that, but now I talked to a buddy of mine this week. He brought a knife over here and I sharpened it, and he does a lot of that. They stand on the bank and fish below that dam, and they catch some fine flatheads and catfish. He actually makes baits and sells with a treble hook, $2 a piece. And he fishes down at the lock in Gainesville, Alabama, down there somewhere. Jason McKenzie yelled, hey, you don't forget and get up in the middle of the night and need to run to the store and forget to unhook it. You won't have a hammock when you come back. I don't know how we're going to do the TP coat, David. I'm going to have it set up. I mean, I may sleep in it. We're going to just have to see how things go. I've got a cot that I can put in there, and I was trying to get Brody another cot, and I never did. But, yeah, Larry, that's what we do. We unplug it when we park and plug that refrigerator into the wall somewhere and let it run in, and we take ours up there to the campground for that. I'll have both of them probably up there, at least the big one. Alicia, have you pulled that up? I'm assuming. Does it look like it's an invasive tiger worm? Is that what it was? What you want, pup? Huh? What's the matter? Huh? You got full of bones and now you ready to go in the house? It's getting chilly out here. Get over there and lay down by that fire and stay warm. It's warm right there. Huh? Yeah, it's warm over there. I don't know what them set power, Larry, is the ones I've got, and if you'll go back to my video, there's a promotion code on there that I think is still good, a discount code on that set power. The last one I did is a smaller one, and I'm going to be honest with you, I've got my big set power is down there in my knife shop running non-stop, plugged up to 110 with the inverter thing, and I have had absolutely no problems with it. So, yeah, Unc, I'm glad to see he's doing good. Ken Nations, I did see, I had one camera went off before dark. I've got Brody's stand. There's about 6 does was under there. Plenty of daylight to have shot deer. But them 6 does comes pretty much every day, and I went and topped their feed off. I've got to go top that feeder off one more time. So I went and bought some feed today, and I didn't get enough. I didn't check everything. I had another feeder down in the creek that I was feeding, and I topped it off. So anyway, but they was moving, and they started moving after dark, really, for the most part. That puppy, Brody, let the puppy in. Oh, I thought he was on the couch. He must be in yonder somewhere. Let me go let Pup in. He's about to have a conniption fit over here at this door. Come here, Pup. You want in? You better not go in there and use the bathroom in that house. All right, I think I got him situated over there. Danny, no, I didn't strain that cowboy coffee. I poured a little water in it, cold water, to shock them grounds down, but them grounds right there in that particular coffee is pretty fine, so Little grounds don't really bother me too much. I don't want a lot of it in my coffee, but if you put that little touch of cold water in there, they'll settle to the bottom. And if you pour it fairly gently with a good bit of coffee, you don't get a lot. And then when I get down to the very bottom of the cup, I pour that last. It's usually done got cold by the time I get to the bottom of the cup anyway. Ken Nations, that's about the way ours are. I had a new buck showed up on one camera the other night, and he was in and out 3 different times through the night. And I ain't seen him since then. And he was a good buck. I have not had not a single picture of him since. That was about 3 nights ago. So I don't know, but nothing has moved much in the last couple of days. So this week has been terrible, really. Uncle Sasquatch said, just hold your teeth together and strain the grounds out. There you go. Yeah, I'm betting on this weather changing helping us out. It hadn't felt like hunt weather. Mosquitoes eat me up this week. And I didn't hunt hard. I just hunted a good bit. This week, I'll be more in the mode of getting serious with it. I went to the woods dressed just like you see me today. I really wasn't worried about it. Them George Washington teeth. Deaver, that's why you don't have white teeth. That way you don't have that to worry about. If you leave them yellow, then it don't bother you none. So I had a cousin one time, he come over here one night and he said, look at my teeth. He said, look how white they are. They was a little whiter than they was. So, yeah, man, what'd you do? He said, I brushed them with bleach. He is serious as a heart attack, too. Is it hot in Alabama in April? It ain't hot then. It is pleasant in April. The only problem we have in April is them tornadoes. They come through here just lickety split. But you know, I mean, they most likely they'll be on the other side of the river, or you know, a mile down the road or something. You'll just get a bunch of high wind. You'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Y'all need to be here while we ducking for cover in tornado weather. You need this experience in your life. This is what you're concerned about. The heat's not a problem yet. I mean, it may be warm. You may be sweating in the night, but this is not your number one concern. In April, it's the tornadoes we're watching for. So a week before we go, you looking at that forecast down there for Macon, Mississippi, or Brooksville, Mississippi, and that's what'll be coming through the campground there at Pickinsville. Yeah, Gunner, it's very possible that it can be 80 degrees in the daytime and 40 at night. I mean, you never know. And I'll tell you this, y'all gonna be here like 3 days, you could experience all 3 seasons. They could be, you know, cold enough for snow one night, and then 2 days later it could be so hot we walk around in flip-flops and shorts, you know. You won't catch me, though, in those shorts. I like my long sleeve breeches. Yeah, Jason, bring your pontoon boat on. I never have owned a pontoon boat. I got on one last year. We did the boxes looking, the hand grabbing, and they had a really nice pontoon boat. And we just eased around over the lake, and and hand grabbed some good catfish. Didn't get a lot, but we did find some. Yeah, Alicia, we got bipolar weather. You can, I mean, it goes from hot to cold in no time, and they without warning. I mean, seriously, who would have thought that deer hunting in January, the first week of January, or the second week, that you would need a thermosale to keep the mosquitoes from toting you off in a deer stand? This just ain't something you're supposed to have to do in January. But here we are. That's exactly what we needed. But now, right now, it feels like my kind of weather. I got three shirts on. I got a long sleeve t-shirt with another t-shirt, short sleeve t-shirt over it, and then I got this. This is a thick, pretty thick material, mossy oak shirt, and I think it is actually a Habo brand, but it's mossy oak pattern. And I'm comfortable. I'm chilled, but I got a fire. I mean, this is how I like it. I don't like to be freezing, but I don't like to be sweating and swatting either. So, but hey, you never know. Yeah, Jason, you're right. Just wait 15 minutes. It'll change. You ain't going to get bored with it, you know. Ricky, we, honest to God, he said, I live in Alabama and the biggest snow I ever saw was in April. I have literally seen weather just like we have in this year. And then in April, have ice on the ground, yay thick. We would get our snow or ice in April. I've seen it, I don't know how many times. So you ain't lying on that. We had an ice storm that lasted 2 weeks nearly. At least a good solid week here. I think the power was out for 2 weeks because there was so many lines down back in the 80s. Probably probably 87, something like that. I would assume. And we didn't have no snow here. A little bit of snow, but we had ice. I remember it was icicles. They was that long, hanging on everything. Every power line around here was on the ground, limbs on them. So I was probably about 7 or 8 years old at the time. I was born in 81, so I guess I was about 6 or 7, something like that. Rick Martin, thank you. Yeah, it was, I think we got over 70 something here yesterday. I want to say that it was up in the, I mean, it was raining and all. The day before that, it was relatively warm too. I mean, it was t-shirt weather for sure. I didn't put on a t-shirt just out of basic principle. I like to wear my long sleeve shirts. But it was cool enough that you could. You know what I mean, Vern? So I got questions. Have you got answers? What kind of fishing do y'all like to watch the most? What type of fishing videos? Because I'm going to do a lot of whatever I want to do, obviously. I mean, I ain't going to change, but as I plan for fishing, I've already had fishing on I'll give y'all a sneak peek on something. I drug this little lime green kayak out, and I've been ordering parts for it. The bungees had broke on it. It's been laid out in the weather. I'm fixing to paint it. I'm fixing to paint the thing green or maybe some camouflage. I don't know, but we fixing to take. I'm gonna do it all on video. We're gonna strip everything off of it. We're gonna sand it, paint it, try to do it right where it will stick. We're gonna paint it green or camouflage or something that where we can hunt and everything in it. I just like green or dark color. I don't like lime green. And I've got some rod holders coming to put in it that they should be in there. It's a Walmart kayak, so it was the cheapest version. You can buy the little rod holders and cut the hole and mount them in there for a little of nothing, like $10. So I've ordered some of that stuff. I've ordered new bungees for it to go on there. So I'm going to try to equip this thing, and I'm going to put me a seat in it with a back to it where I can lean back, be comfortable in it. And then I'm going to try to do some that I can get that kayak in places that I can't get the canoe because it's a whole lot lighter. So my intention is to try to go target some areas that I didn't fish much last year due to the fact of it being low water, which the early part of the year it was high water everywhere. But I'm going to fix it where we can go fish places. As we get into beaver trapping over in the year, we may be able to fish some of these beaver trapping areas, before we tear the dams out in the water, and we may not catch nothing but gar or whatever. We're going to figure some of this out. So, y'all love the ground, running lines, brim, catfish, crappie, limb hooking video. I'm going to be honest with y'all, I love limb hooking. I really do, and I'll tell you what I'm going to do some limb hooking in this year. We're going to take that canoe with that trolling motor because you can lickety split ease right on up and down that river pretty good in it, and that is a pretty stable canoe. And I can get it places that I can't get that John boat. So yeah, we're gonna use that. We're gonna definitely do that, and I'm probably gonna start hitting them in February. I mean, they will bite. It's not good, but they will bite in February, especially if it warms up some here. Mark, you got sight 142. Good deal. Mike, yeah, we've had a tornado outbreak. That ain't been too many years ago. Jeffrey, how are you tonight? Jeffrey, did you book you a camper spot up there with us? We've got to get Jeffrey up there. Robbie Payne said he's got 138. Ken, yes, the head of the Pearl River is about a mile right back here. Really, probably about a half a mile, to be honest with you. So yeah, it's where the Talladega Canal and the Nanawarya Creek run together. They form the head of the Pearl River, and it runs down through here. And Highway 15 is below me about 10 miles or so. Larry, they won't let us book. They won't let you on the spot till after dinner. Because the previous people won't leave till 11, and they'll clean it up for an hour, make sure everything's spick and span. So it's got to be after lunch when they let you on those spots Thursday. So just bear that in mind, y'all. It'll be dinner Thursday before you can get on your spot. Now you can pull up and go park at the boat ramp or wherever at and wait. I'm assuming there is when you pull up to the campground, if you don't turn in to where the campground is, you go straight on down past it. There is a public boat ramp down there. You can park there and wait. There's a lock and dam down there. You can drive down there and look at the water. I mean, you can kill some time there, but there ain't a lot to do, and they ain't much at this place. So I really don't know what to tell you to do if you get there too early. Stop in Columbus or something. Well, Jeffrey, I've tried to hunt this week, but I should have been working. I'd have been much better off if I'd have made knives all this past week and waited and hunted this next week while it was cold. But dummy me, I hunted last week and now it's perfect weather and I'm gonna have to work some or my bills is gonna catch up with me. Kevin Wilson, you been hunting hard. Have you killed any? I hadn't had good luck. I ain't killed much. I think that's why we all hunting so hard, because it's been a terrible year for most people. Yeah, Ken, there's a lot of good fishing in these swamps. The problem is it dries up really bad in the summer late and makes it hard, and then the mosquitoes will tote you off down there. But Robbie Payne said, don't stop in Columbus. You might not leave Columbus. It ain't bad as Meridian. Don't stop Meridian. That's where you don't stop here. But Columbus is not much better. You just have to pick and choose where you at. Too many acres. Yeah, we're missing Martin Meltzer tonight. Don't know where Martin is tonight. He might have forgot it was Saturday. Yeah, Coach, I hunted in the heat. Hunted in T-shirt. I had a long sleeve T-shirt, basically. Telling y'all the truth, been tough. All Dave ain't here. We missing a few folks. It's hard. There's so many of y'all. My little old pea brain don't keep up with exactly who all's missing. There'll be people missing. I don't know. Butterfly Farms, hey, Joey, before you go to bed, I got your knife finished and the sheath made today. I didn't get it in the sheath. I tell you what, I didn't get it sewed up. I've got to lace it up, but I got it built. The knife is finished, the sheath is made. So you'll be getting your knife sometime next week. I need you to text me your address. I think you still got my number, I hope. Jimmy, you gonna come to the campground with us in April? Jimmy's the one went with me when we caught them 40-something pound ones. I'm gonna try to do that again while we up there. But I'm gonna aggravate them old crappie a little bit too now. I'm just gonna tell you. I'm gonna have a crappie pole with me. Come hang out for a day. Jim, if you got a tent, we got enough campground spots locked down together. You'd probably slip up there with a tent without much reservations and slip in and stay. The only problem is the parking. They won't allow but 2 vehicles per a camper spot, I think, because there ain't no whole lot of parking. But we'll figure something out if you come up there. If we have to hide the vehicle somewhere else, out the boat ramp or whatnot, you can park out in the boat ramp, and we'll be walking distance from the boat ramp parking lot. Put a tent up somewhere out in the yard and the grass and. Kay Fergie said he's here, he just ain't said nothing. Hey, there's a lot of y'all do that. I'm okay with it. There ain't no need in saying nothing when you ain't got nothing to say. Just sit back and listen. I do enough talking for everybody, I know. I like to talk. And then I'm going to tell y'all something. It costs me a lot of money to talk much as I do. Because people will come to visit me, and I'll get to talking, and they'll get to talking, and I don't get nothing done. No work. I worked all day here one day, and after about 3 or 4 people had come by to visit, I didn't get much done because I like to talk too much. I'm going to do like my old daddy used to do. My daddy, somebody come up to his shop while he's working, he'll talk to him about 5 minutes, and they'll be in the middle of a story, and he'll just turn around and go to welding. He said, I ain't got time to stand there all day long. And I've seen him do that. He ain't joking now. I mean, they'll be in the middle of a big tale, and just to tell it, yeah. Oh. I don't like to hurt people's feelings. Jimmy deleted his messages. He got mad and he ain't gonna talk to us no more. Oh, it said message retracted. He said, I ain't hanging out with this bunch. Oh. Larry, I don't know how that works. I know above the lock they recognize a Mississippi license, but it is technically in Alabama. So I would find it very difficult to think that they wouldn't recognize an Alabama fishing license in Alabama. I mean, I don't know though. I have not looked into that. And I've been so busy I ain't thought about it. Yeah. Jeffrey, I'm good at it. Yeah, I talk a lot. Yeah, Greg, Dad's doing pretty good. He gets disheartened. He's not getting well as fast as he'd like to. But other than that, he's doing good. His biggest struggle is if he does anything, he gets give out of breath. Just wears out fast. And I mean, like, if he walks to the mailbox and back, he has to stop and catch his breath. So that is disheartening him a lot. But other than that, he's doing well. Healing good, but he's just got a long road to go down. Jimmy said the river is rising. Get together with you soon. You got fishing on your mind right now, hadn't you? I was keeping an eye on it today. I'm thinking that there's enough water that I can canoe around right now and possibly see a deer down there. So we'll see how that works out this coming week. Might be another swamp video. I'd like to make another one and shoot one with a El Mucho Grande like old TK and Mike said. Good luck with that, Alicia. Lawson's throwing lizards at the TV. Lawson, it's bedtime, son. You fixing to have to go get in bed. Sorry to tell you. You fought it long enough. Oh, Lord. Coach had talked through 2 pots of coffee. Speaking of that, I better fill mine up. Let me top my cup off. I'm going to tell y'all what I'm fixing to do. I ain't going to lie about it. I'm fixing to stew it right here. Let me turn this up just a touch. My keister is getting cool. So how many of y'all like to back up to a fire like this? This is where it's at. There's no reason for me to have a fire right here and me sit over there in that rocking chair and not be standing right here in front of the fire. The only problem is I got this gigantic iPad that I got to read the comments on, and I need to get in here and make them words bigger. I ain't got my spectacles on. Y'all, I broke one of my favorite pair the other day. I don't know how in the world I done it. I hung them right here on my shirt, and I was getting my stuff together because I had my book with me in my deer stand. I was going to read my book. I ain't finished it yet because I read it about twice a week. I may go in there and read it in a little bit. I need to get that old fella out of bind. They on a river trying to run from some Indians. It's after them, and they trying to get over there. And I don't. They trying to make it to the west coast for some reason. The Columbia River is the name of it. Y'all probably some of y'all done read that book. Well, I'm about halfway through it. I need to get them boys out of a bind. One of them's trying to catch his brother, and his brother don't know he's after him, and I don't know what all's going on. But anyway, I was going to read my book. When I got to the deer stand, my spectacles, I got my book out, and I grabbed my glasses and popped them on my head. And man, what in the world? It was the awfulest sight you ever seen in your life. And I got to looking, and one whole lens was missing. Still ain't found that lens. I just threw them in the garbage. I'm going to have to get me a nerding pair. But y'all, the thing about them readers, we ain't gonna go buy no good glasses. Y'all know better than that. The thing that I can't stand is whenever I take my shirt tail and I wipe that lens, if it don't clean that lens, if it just smears it, some of them real cheap ones, you rub that lens with your shirt tail and it'll just smear it around and it look like a cotton ball when you look through them lenses. I don't like them. I don't buy them $2 pair no more. And every now and then you'll run up on the store and you'll rub that lens and man, it'll come clean. I'm like, yeah, we want these. I don't care if they pink. I just want the lens to be good. I bought one pair myself, said, them look like women's glasses. I said, I don't care. Not one bit. Told her, I said, I might want to go to a protest. I didn't say that. Y'all erase that. No, I back up. Mike Harris, I have to have my glasses now. Joey sent me that Bible, and it's got large print. So one of y'all said it was readable print. Well, that's about the truth. I noticed the other night I carried that Bible to church, and the preacher told us a passage of scripture to turn to, and I flipped to that page number, and I looked, and I realized I had that giant print Bible way down there. I pulled it up there, and I was like, man. I think it's these phone screens doing it. That's what I blame it on. I'm not going to accept age as a culprit. I'm blaming it on that phone screen burning my eyeballs up. Well, Larry, the ones I had was the $16 ones. The black or the whatever color, and they got the lime green rubber deal on them. They'd stick on your head pretty good. That's what I broke. Yeah. Coach said he votes and phones, yeah. So Jim Reynolds cleared this up for us, y'all. He said at Pickensville, they recognize both license, Mississippi or Alabama, from the lock, Tom Bevel Lock and Dam up to Pirates Cove. I'm not sure where that is, but it's past the campground. I do know that. So, you're in the clear. Either license, Alabama's cheaper by Alabama. I'm probably by that point going to own both myself. Because I do have a buddy that was over the other day that said that there is some excellent catfishing over there below the lock. That tailwater fishing you was talking about, below the dam. They go over there and do that down at Gainesville. Well, you got to have it. And I've got a buddy that they run limb lines over there in a big boat, and they go down to Cochran or somewhere down toward Gainesville, Alabama. And so I want to fish down there some with some of them, at least go riding a boat with them and film while they doing what they do, which is some of the same stuff I do. And I would like to go and let them do all the work and drive the boat and do everything, and all I got to do is sit back and run the camera and talk and run my mouth. That would be right up my alley. So, because they're doing the same stuff I do and do it very well. The only problem, some of these old boys like to drink them a cool one every now and then. They don't get too carried away with it, but I try to keep that stuff out of videos for the most part, because I don't do that and I don't promote that. And I don't condemn somebody else that's doing it and be like, oh, you going to hell with that. I just leave them alone, let them do what they going to do. I mean, free country. Everybody's supposed to do like they want to. But anyway, long story short, I have to watch what I film when I'm with some of them folks. So if for some reason you was to see that in my videos, it ain't because I'm promoting it and I agree with it and all that. It's because I believe that you ought not tell everybody else how to live their life. You can suggest and try to influence them, but I don't be the dictator and be like, oh, you got to do like this if you're around me. As long as they not cussing every breath, I can deal with it. I can't deal with that. Somebody gets to Pirates Cove is Aliceville. Aliceville is below that lock, right? Don't know. I'm confused now then. You caught between me and Phil Robertson. Me and Phil Robertson don't differ a whole lot. We differ on a few things. I like old Phil Robertson. Phil Robertson's a good guy. Me and him, we probably differ on a few details, but I think we pretty much the same on the grand scheme of things. Oh, I don't know. I'm assuming, Jeffrey, that Pirates Cove is going to be above the Tom Bevel lock because you got an Alabama state line up there, up by the phone booth, we call it. There's literally a phone booth on the bank over there, just sitting out there on the bank. Somebody stuck it there as a novelty at one of them cabins that's on the river. So the state line is up there, so I'm assuming Pirates Cove is going to be on up there, which is sort of towards Pratt's Landing. I don't know. Where the campground is in Pickensville. It is Pickensville Campground. Jeff, you did get it the right place. You can redo it. It's no big, huge deal. So I have no idea, Jeffrey. No idea. Well, I may have to do some research here in a little bit when I get off of here and look. Jim Reynolds said Pirates Cove is about a mile up the river from the lock. So it is above the campground, correct? I'm assuming it's got to be. Pirates Cove, that's... I don't know. I'll have to look. It is 8:56, Coach. We fixing to shut everybody down here shortly. John Bright said it is. John, are you going to be able to come? You're going to have a brand new baby. Your wife ain't going to let you leave her with that baby and come up there and hang out with us and camp for a weekend issue. Just do like Marcel did. Hey, let me tell y'all, listen. Before y'all run off, let me tell y'all one more Jerry Cloward joke. Jerry Cloward, Marcel named him and Az Lee, she done cooked him in buzzard eggs. He didn't know it. And he was getting ready to go deer hunting, and they was loading up, and they was going off, him and several of his buddies, and it was cold. It was snowing. Ice was on the ground, and they was loading their stuff into the truck. It was on about a Wednesday or something, and they was going to be gone till Sunday. And, they had this big deer hunt, and he's putting his stuff in there, and as Lee come to the door with a baby on each hip, she's standing there looking out the door, and she said, Marcel, she said, I know good and well you're not fixing to leave me with these two babies, and it's snowing, and not enough firewood here to last 3 days while you're gone. And said Marcel turned around and looked, and he said, hon, I ain't taking the axe with me. You might catch a frying pan if you try that. I don't know. Just Play that at your own risk. I just thought I'd share that one with you. I thought that was a pretty good one. Well, John Bright, if you plan that catfish tournament for the weekend, Thursday through the 16th through the 19th, we'll be there, and we'll teach y'all how to catch them big ones. No, you'll probably teach me. Y'all, John Bright usually wins this catfish tournament up there that they have every year, so I'm just picking at him. We might get up there and learn something from him. Shout out to Piney and Baby Bear. Baby Bear and Piney, how are y'all? Gonna need some bait. You can get all the bait you want. I'll get a cast net. We'll go down to the lock. Generally, you can go down there and get all the live bait you can shake a stick at. I will be bringing some bait. I got plenty deer liver. We'll bring some deer liver. I'll have a bait cooler. I know I got some deer liver down there. In fact, we may keep a liver out of a deer when we catch a deer in the next week. We'll keep a liver on one. I didn't keep that last night I shot because I shot him 3 times. There wasn't much left of the insides. I didn't even get the heart out of it because it wasn't worth cutting down in that mess to look for it. And I wasn't sure there was anything left of it. I mean, you put 3 holes with a 270 short mag through the chest cavity of a deer and he runs, there ain't gonna be much in there any good. I was scared that little scrubby buck was gonna run off with my reputation. Eli Holyfield, I have a few game, Phil, not very many. What is the temps there? Looks chilly and warm. It's about 45 degrees here. So y'all, John, find out what y'all's dates are. We're going to be there the 16th through the 19th at Pickinsville Campground Site 144 is where I'm at. Somewhere in that general vicinity. Pull up the map, look. But this is April 16th through the 19th, Thursday through a Friday. Thursday through a Sunday. Y'all, my mind's turning to mush. I believe it's overworked. So, we fixing to shut all of this down, y'all. I have enjoyed it. My belly is full of squirrels and crappie. I'm fixing to go pour that lard out. I think that pot is done. I don't know where I'm going to pour it. That puppy will find it. That stuff will solidify. I'll have to figure out what to do with that. Anyway, thank y'all for joining in tonight, hanging out with us on a Saturday night, doing Saturday Night Live. Y'all, I have hunted a good bit, hadn't made a lot of videos. I did film just in time today already, so I ain't got to do that tonight. Get it edited. It'll be up tomorrow as usual on Sunday. Thank y'all for watching. I'm going to try to get back to filming some good videos next week, get some stuff going. I can't promise nothing. I got some knives to make, and then I got some more hunting to do. If we kill anything, we'll have some good videos. I got some deer meat grinding to do. We need to film that, I reckon. Thank y'all for watching Spirit of the Outdoors. Remember, the best way to do things is the way you like to do it. We'll see y'all. Good night, everybody.